YouTube channel. Let's do this. Today is July 31st, 2024. Wow, how time already in the month of August. Now, I'll put a caption. Presidential candidate, the front runner of the Democratic Party, Harris, basically challenged Donald Trump to a duel, better known as a debate. Now, VP Harris was in the ATL. She pretty much had a sold-out crowd, a crowd of 10,000. Had rappers out there, and they had a black part, because if you didn't know, Georgia is a big state. But in the city of Atlanta and Fulton County, you got one of the largest populations of blacks, largest populations of the alphabet crew. So we got a conversation today. And today I promise to be more interactive, because yesterday I was in the comments and, they said I'm popping it too fast. They called me a yapper. Okay, and I appreciate that, because when you yap, and you speaking the truth, saying sometimes it just rolls over people's heads, but a lot of times, we meetings, and we got to understand, they got to listen to the people, because people told me sound a little bit, especially when you go in live, because they want to be more interactive. And one thing I do understand, that people want to interact, they want to connect, they want to dialogue, they want to communicate. So today we're going to do a little bit of that today and have a little dialogue and communicate. So as you come in, I'm going to be interactive. I'm going to ask you questions, because the question hour is, should Trump debate or accept a challenge that Kamala Harris put on the table yesterday when she was in Atlanta during that huge rally with the Migos pulled up, Megan Thee Stallion pulled, and I'm sitting back like, here we go, because they know how to throw a party. But I just want us to understand the integrity of the presidential office. Because when I looked in the comments, and I was, I followed, and I was looking at the comments, and they had Megan Thee Stallion up there yapping and popping, sitting back saying, maybe you want to find a little more class, because the ratchetness is ratchet. And no disrespect to Megan Thee Stallion, that's what you do. You're a former stripper. Your music is, cross the line. You play in the strip clubs. You walk around with your booty cheeks out and popping and all of that. But no disrespect to that. A situation where a president would have an individual like that, because it's sending the wrong message to the culture. And I have to correct myself, because they literally own the culture. Okay, they tell us what to do and how to do it, because if you want to be a rapper, a female, you're going to have to be a Sexy Red or Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi B. You're going to have to be doing some things. But when I talk about class, there are rappers out there that have class, that have songs, but I know they wanted to turn up, because I believe Offset from the Migos was there. And he pretty much, I'm not sure, I didn't hear him endorse her personally, and speaking of presidential candidate Harris, but he did say we got to vote. And he did say vote tomorrow. And I'm like, well, maybe he don't know, but the vote, we vote on November 5th, Super Tuesday. But one of the big issues that's trending is that Kamala Harris challenged Donald Trump to pull up to the debate. Now, Biden and Trump had a debate scheduled for the month of September. And now his team is basically saying, wait and see if she gets the nominee or gets the delegates during the Democratic National Convention. And without a shadow of a doubt, she's going to get all the delegates. She's going to be the front runner for the Democratic Party. So I'm wondering why the apprehensiveness Trump team when it comes to debating Kamala Harris. And I have my ideas, but I would love for you guys to tap in and your reason as to why. Good morning to you. I see people are pulling up or coming into the room, into the show. But why is the Trump team apprehensive about debating presidential candidate? And I understand that as a black man, I know without a shadow of a doubt that the benefit will go to the female. The benefit will go to the female, because she will probably, use her black card. And if they do agree to a debate, I'm gonna go ahead and give Harris the nod in the sense of destroying President Trump. Not saying that she will win the presidency, not saying it won't be a close race, but when it comes to a debate, I'm thinking, Trump will pretty much fall flat on his face because ain't nobody finna out debate no black sister. And whether she identifies as Indian, Asian, or whatever you want to call it, she has Congressional Black Caucus, she has caucus members, she has black senators. They're going to rally around her and put together some talking points that's probably going to go viral. And the shade room going to be lit up, and they're pretty much going to make this Aryan white man look bad. So I don't know, saying. So what y'all thinking? So I got CJ Taylor in the building. She pretty much says Trump's camp should remain silent. Debating is her state. Can't win a debate with her. And that's coming from a black woman. Because a man can't debate a woman because they're going to play that woman card. Because if he says something disrespectful, you can only imagine. But could you imagine? Just think about it. If I was a lawyer, and that's an advice from a lawyer, and if I was a lawyer, it's pretty much a murder trial, or a trial when you're defending a person, but the deal is I'll defend you only if you don't testify, okay, and then you can actually win the case. But if you get in that stand, what you think, how you feel when you take that, put that hand on that Bible and you sit and you in that courtroom, something strange happened from a psychological perspective. You start stumbling and bumbling, and you're not real focused. So this is why we are saying that he probably will not, and I'm hoping that he don't. But if he do, it's going to be must-see TV, and I think they should put it on pay-per-view. And I'm gonna just keep it 100. I would actually I get Floyd Mayweather, Bob Arum, and all these cats out there, the promoters. I would put this thing on pay-per-view, and because I'm going to allow cussing, and we're going to have a studio. It's not going to be like Trump and Biden with nobody in the room and all of that. Okay, because it will be crazy for that to happen. I got somebody else. Let me see here. He can win if he shame her like he did Fani. Yeah, but he not debate Fani Willis. So just think about a white man debating a black woman. If he says something disrespectful, I'm not even on her team. But if she would hire me to help her with the debate, I will have a talking point and I'll write it down and I'll have her look down. So you just gonna disrespect a black woman? So this is who you are, euphemistic pig? So do you want to grab my for JJ? I see you undressing me with your eyes, Donald. We know who you are. You're a convicted felon. Party over. That just won. And as a black man, who's dealt with black women his entire lifetime, I found myself, I wouldn't say in a debate, but in an argument, and there's no win because the line crossed, and then there's a physical discrepancy that a man has, and the only thing we have is, once we get clowned and, once we can't respond or we can't come back or clap back, it's a physical reaction. When I say a physical reaction, we screaming and getting disrespectful. And could you imagine Trump losing his cool while debating Harris, and she sits back and say, you see how rude and disrespectful he is? This is who you want to be your president? I mean, so I hope they listening and I hope they watching, because if the Trump administration want to go on record and debate the Harris team, good luck. But if the Harris team do pull him, he accepts the challenge, I would hope, like I said, I'm not hoping. I know I shall but doubt. Man, they're going to put together a script so cold, man, these talking points, because you're looking at a career prosecutor versus a felon. And number 3, I would have her count them out. When she get her time to talk, I would say, okay, Miss Harris, what do you think? Not 1, not 2, not 3. I would have her count to 34. That's how many counts he got in terms of a felon. And this is who you want to be your president. And sit back and just watch the clicks. He cannot debate her. He should not. But like I said, and I think her camp really knows that. I think they know and understand that it's a win-win for her, but it will actually hurt him. So if he's smart I wouldn't, pull up. I wouldn't debate. I would pretty much use her record, the border czar, inflation, how silent she's been. And then actually, if you want to put me in the mix, if I was helping Trump, I would pretty much talk about class. Okay, because no Megan Thee Stallion, no disrespect to Offset or anything like that. But I found it real disrespectful to turn into watch Kamala Harris presidential rally. And I'm seeing Megan Thee Stallion on stage talking about, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the white people in the crowd, like looking around like, wow, this is what we doing. And it wasn't rocking with her. If they wanted to pretty much make it look like it was something that they were, having fun with, they should have put some kids and some behind the stage and have them rock it to make it seem like, oh, they all vibing together. But the faces, tell the whole story. And to be going to a presidential debate, it looked like the white folks that was there on their faces was, this might not be a good idea. Because I don't care, like I said, there's what we call the underground. The underground is now mainstream. I don't want to see Megan popping, shaking her booty, doing what she do at presidential campaign. I don't even want to see her doing that at the BET Awards. Okay, but you see how they have went so progressive perspective away from class. Where was Anita Baker? Was she busy? Where Patti LaBelle? Was she busy? Where was Gladys Knight? I would have had Gladys Knight talking about on a midnight train to Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where the debate was. But what about the group? You're trying to cater to a group of people who are really, focused on things outside of the big picture. I guess we plan on the emotions of the youngsters. I guess this is what they're going after. But a lot of these people really don't understand that they're not contributors to this great nation. And like I said, I know you turn this live on, you see his hat. I'm not a Trump supporter. It's make African black again. Okay, we're Mabbas. Okay, when I say black, we were proud. We were so connected as a culture and as a community, and we were, together. We was unified. After with the Civil Rights Acts of 1964, King Pons on the bigger screen, on the bigger scheme of things, on the Democratic chessboard. And all the pawns are off the board now. So we pretty much sitting back, watching, having fun because we don't have no skin in the game. Because this presidential election, I'm not supporting either side because the two-party system is bad for America and it pretty much pushed out the base. But they didn't understand when you push out the black race and you bring in an ethnicity, you bring in the pronouns, you bring in the feminist movement, you bring in the immigrants. You think you're pushing out, but you pushed up. So we're going to connect with the most down. The Divine Nine have to answer to the divine, and the Democratic have to understand that it pretty much do not have the black vote when it comes to blacks, but they have the African Americans. They lost the Palestinian vote. They lost the Muslim vote. So the immigrants that they brought into this country, I guarantee there's legislation, there's going to be arguments to basically allow these immigrants to vote. But back to the topic at hand. Should Donald Trump, and I got a few people in the building, so should Donald Trump debate Kamala Harris? And if so, why? And do you think it would be beneficial to us, or do you think, or the Democratic Party, or do you think it'd be beneficial to the Trump administration? Because one of the comments said that, he needs to clown her, or basically, let me see here, he needs to talk to her or shame her how he did Fani Willis. But see, Fani Willis is not, that's a district attorney. Okay, she drank Grey Goose. Okay, she was sleeping with, Alvin Bragg, counsel, walked in the courtroom with her dress on backwards. So that's pretty much low hanging fruit. But when you talk about a female who pretty much went to Howard University, HBCU, a female that's a part of the Divine Nine, they're going to show up and show out regardless. So she's an AKA, she'd be AKA at the time where they had a paper bag test and all of that, but it has nothing to do with it because they hook, line, and sinker. That's a black secret society. They're going to roll together. So she got the Divine Nine. And then if you look at her resume, you have to be a fool to not understand. However she did it, by hook or crook, She did it. She made public defender. Okay, she became a prosecutor. She became a district attorney. She became attorney general. She became a senator. So there's no way you can really, said her resume is her resume. See, Donald Trump's going to have to stand on his business, but stick to him being a male chauvinistic pig. Okay, he grabbed for JJ. He's an alpha male, and like I said, it takes one to know one. So conversation. This is why a lot of black men just stand down when the sisters start tripping, because the only advantage we have is a physical advantage and a hyper advantage. When I say hyper, I mean we could yell and scream and be disrespectful, all of that, but that's going to be shunned or shamed because nobody wants to see a white man disrespect a sister. I don't care whatever issues the black man has with Harris, but if Trump was to say something disrespectful to us and they were to basically create ads and put clickbait out and all of that, then there's going to be an issue. There's going to be an issue. So we got to really understand that this thing is heating up. And like I said, I'm so proud to be a nonpartisan independent. I'm so proud to be a part of the third party coalition, and that will be bringing the never Trumpsters, the never Harris out of the woodworks. And it's not because the black America is really starting to understand. We got 60 years of data stating that the Democratic Party is not for blacks. Okay, just like when VP Harris, and I have to be honest with you, when she was running for VP and they asked her, would you do anything just for black folk? And she said, I'm not going to do anything just for black folk. But we have bills presented, things done for Asian, remember Asian hate, things done for just for the immigrants, things done just for women, things done for the LGBTQ community. So how is that possible that you can assist in things being done by these ethnic groups or these people of color, but you refuse to do anything? Because blacks is pretty much the progressive way of just pretty much holding on to us. This is why every 4 years they come into our communities. They have rallies and bring up Megan Thee Stallion, Offset from the Migos and all of that. This is why they do what they do. We call it pandering. You remember the Breakfast Club when they asked Hillary Clinton what she got in her bag, in her purse, and she said hot. And Charlamagne the God said, the black folk gonna say that sound like you pandering. And she said, is it? Because this is what they do. They play us. So when you talk about, situations for racial groups or ethnic groups, scientific, you got to look at, reparations when it came to the Indians. You got to look at reparation when it came to the Asians, when it came to, after the Korean War, they got cash payouts. The Jewish people, Holocaust was not on American soil, but they got paid. So the only way you can figure out what we're doing as a people is to pretty much pull ourselves outside of the two-party system and create an alliance of humanitarians, black, white, or indifferent. This is why the acronym for black is Black and Asian Caucasian Kinsmen, and that includes all races. And we will fight for the rights of human beings, because the black man and the black community to make a decision that we want to end racism by championing ourselves. And it comes with a constitutional amendment. The 13th Amendment, reads neither slavery nor voluntary servitude, common less criminalized. We want to ratify the 13th and input the 28th Amendment, which removes the criminalization clause. And we want to work with both parties, with joint houses of Congress, to pretty much rid ourselves and rid this country of what we call mass incarceration, nothing but what we call modern day slavery. So there's a method to the madness. So I'm taking my time and my energy to motivate and encourage and entertain, to pretty much promote an agenda that we've been denied for a very long time. Okay, because at the end of the rights, we thought we made it. One of the major songs that stick in my head is "We Shall Overcome." But what did we overcome? Someday. And yesterday, I watched Barack Obama when he did the memorialized Elijah Cummings at his funeral. And he said, for this to be a great union, this is the words of Obama. Elijah Cummings will be in the conversation, whether it's in 5 years from now, whether it's in 20 years from now, whether it's 100 years from now. You got to speak and say that Elijah Cummings is part of playing when it comes to bringing this country together. So that's a clear indication that we're not there yet. That's a clear indication because Barack Obama, he came in and he did things just for the LGBTQ LMNOP community. Same-sex marriage, nobody has a problem with it. But we're pretty much creating the argument and the debate of how individuals, presidents, Congress, senators, lobbyists, they come in and they do things just for certain particular groups. But the original group that motivated the civil rights movement is still on the books as being, uncovered. So this is why we to make a grand decision and deliver ourselves from the politics comes to the two-party system, because I'm not a Trump supporter, and I know this had the shock value. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Democrat. I'm just an independent and what we call today's modern day theocrat. So look out for the theocratic party, and the theocratic party is ruled by God. Moral men who use the Constitution and the Bible, because the Bible says, we're one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, which makes us a constitutional republic. So when it says one nation under God, we're one nation under God. So we are literally starting that position, because when you talk about one nation, that means we got to be all together. And when I say all together, that means we got to come together. And when I say come together, we got to develop laws, and that's a win-win for everybody. It should not be winners and losers, just like with the presidential. Half America is going to be mad either way. If Trump wins, a whole lot of people are going to be mad. If Harris wins, he gets the nomination from the DNC next month, there's half the country's going to be mad, and maybe they might storm the White House again. You don't know. But we don't have to have anything to do with it, because no matter who the president becomes, we'll have a seat at the table, just like the Asian community. We have a seat at the table, just like the Arabs and the Muslims and, the Israel, because it hurts my heart. It didn't hurt my heart, but it showed me that if you're a partisan independent in this country, no matter what you're doing in your country, and you got friends in high places, you could pretty much sit down and talk to, people. Because Netanyahu sat down and he spoke with Harris and her husband Doug, who's Jewish, and they guaranteed that they will support, Israel. He had a private sit down with Joseph Biden, the sitting president. And then over the past weekend, he was in Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, sitting down talking to Trump. Imagine that there was a coalition of people, the humanitarians, who pretty much are nonpartisan, but will be able to sit down and build bridges with who's ever in office. As a friend, not a as an ally and an asset, not a liability. But as long as we sit back and support a political party as a whole, and this is why we are walking out of the burning house that Dr. King eloquently spoke and said that we were delivered into after the Civil Rights Act, when he was speaking to Harry Belafonte. Now, the Democratic Party do, but this progressive agenda is an agenda, and progressively moves us away from God, because the progressive agenda is the agenda that talks about, that took prayer out of school, that took the Pledge of Allegiance out of school, that's changing our boys into girls, girls into boys, the agenda that supports saints and all of that. But what about how it used to be? There's nothing wrong with a man or woman. When I watch the Olympics that's going on right now, I see fathers and wives so happy about what they did and the investment that they put into their children. I'm looking at the dads pump their chest when, does a triple double back axel and land flat on her feet. And I'm saying, like, if we get away from man and woman tradition, then we're literally creating genocide as a people. So there's nothing doing what you do, but that should not be the focus. So now, and Obama, he championed the community. He signed every bill when it comes to the LGBTQ community, same sex. He signed every bill. Harris was the first person in the state of California to actually marry a same sex. You can see the video; it's on YouTube. And now we got to get back to business, because I've been asking this question, like, what's after Z? Because we're dealing with Gen Z. And the answer is A. So now we're back to the forefront because the first shall be last, and now the last is first again. So now we get an opportunity to promote one race, and that's race, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And this is, we got to use that Constitution to seal the deal. And I don't expect that we would have any smoke or no argument or no debate, okay, because we want to have a conversation of understanding. We're not anti anything. We love our neighbors, we love ourselves. But one thing that we have to understand, when you love your neighbor as you love yourself, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. You can't be suicidal. You can't be taking all these risks, because if you're suicidal, then that means you can affect other human beings. All I'm saying is we really got to understand as a people that we don't want no smoke. We just want to build the bridges and close the gap and make sure that we do what we need to do, because the working class, middle class, we matter. And if we don't develop a third party option or coalition, come together as a people, as humanitarians, creating the win-win, meaning let's sit down and say, how can we all be happy? But when you deal with a duopoly, there's winners and losers. And that's what hurts my heart. Oh, there's winners and losers. And then when you deal with democracy, meaning you could cheat, steal, kill. I mean, democracy tried to blow the head off of Donald Trump because he was literally the runner, and Joseph Biden couldn't beat him based on the polls and based on how he was in the debate. And look what they did. So we got to really understand what's really going on. So I'm just here to motivate, to encourage. Is a better Black America, and a better Black America will be a better America for all. Because if the Black condition got together, if the Black community solved this, did something about mass incarceration, did something about poverty, did something about crime, this country could be a great nation. And just like Obama said, a perfect union. This is why Willie Lynch and the science has pushed the alpha male Black man out of the equation. But they didn't understand, because when they pushed us out, we were literally pushed up to God. Now we are representing a higher power. Now we are standing in the gap. Now we understand. So let's have these conversations. And I appreciate y'all that's rocking with me. So, hey, morning to you. How you doing, Miss? Hey, what up, fam? I appreciate you. So the question is, should Donald Trump Kamala Harris? And if you're on right now, give me your answer. Or if you have a question or comment, I'm pretty good, with the quick wit. So I would love to, to bounce off and react. But this thing is crazy. So people, we're going to figure this thing out. And this is why, platform is doing what it's doing and it's growing. But a lot of people, don't say or don't comment too much because they know it's the truth. Yesterday I did a video, did a live, and or I pretty much uploaded the video. If you didn't see it, check it out, as to why the Black race or Black men won't be supporting the Democratic Party. It's not Harris, it's not her, it's the party. And the reactions or the comments were by females saying this is not, we're not going to do this now, and this is pure nonsense, and you're from whatever they were saying. And this is why when I saw the headline this morning, or this trending topic, that Harris has challenged Trump, there's no way you're going to beat a woman in the debate. And I'm going off of the women that pretty much commented and reacted to me doing what I'm doing. They don't want me to do it, but it's the truth. But the truth shall make us free. So now the man is in a crossroad. He continued to follow Eve, or should he follow God? Because we know without a shadow of a doubt, when God asked Eve, what have you done? She pointed to the deceiver and said, he deceived me. Who's the deceiver? Who's behind all of this? Who's pretty much puppeteering and made the decision that we're going to give Joe COVID, shut him up, and then we're going to turn around and actually give her the nominee without nobody voting for her? Everybody voted, in the primary for Biden. The world, or the Democratic Party, was behind Biden. And now they just pretty much gave it to her on a silver platter. And I'm sitting back saying, game recognized game. Was that the whole plan the whole time? So we really got to understand it. So should Trump debate Harris? And like I said, as I started this live stream, I wouldn't debate her at all. But Trump is what we call an egotistical man. And I think he probably won a debater regardless of, what, the outcome would be. But I think it would be a win for her because, like I said, as a man, I personally, I can't debate a woman. I can't, but I can't. I don't want to because, like I said, when she go low, if we go low, it's going to be bad. You're male chauvinistic. I can't believe you said that. You're not a man. Why would you talk to a woman like that? All of that. So this is why men are trained early age in life dealing with black women. Okay, she's going to be black. That okay, is to walk away because if you don't walk away, you're going to find yourself in a situation, and this is why they have domestic violence law. Okay, because I know brothers that got pushed in their back because they told a female in an argument like, you ain't going nowhere, and then the officer, somebody pulled up to the house and said, did you tell her that? He said, yeah, I told her she wasn't going nowhere. Oh, those are terrorist threats. Here, turn around. So this is the world that we living in. So if he debates Harris, like I said, maybe his team got a script. Maybe they will put some rules and muted mics, like they did with Joe Biden and stuff, but he can actually hurt her on her record. He don't even have to leave the current. He could just go by her VP as a record, because if you look at her approval rating at his lowest as president, his approval rating is still higher than her approval rating as a VP. And that's real. And then she's the border czar. And then look what they did to the border, which means that was a plan to open up the border, because I guarantee you when any millions upon millions of migrants signed up for public assistance, had to sign for the social services. Okay, meaning they had to, they can't register for, the military, but they pretty much had to politically. And I guarantee you, they will be voting for the Democratic Party, because that's the play. Because like I said, we're only 12% of the population are, debatable. So the black vote is not the caps, and the black vote will not, take her over the threshold when it comes to the popular vote. But the black vote could basically swing some of these, these tight states when it comes to Georgia, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Illinois. So these swing states, I think she might be able to do some things. But think about, she has to pick a running mate. She has to pick a running mate. Okay, she's going for governor. And if she's smart from a strategic perspective, she will get in governor from a state where the governor checks all the boxes and he can actually win his state personally. That's the only way I would, if I was. So, like I said, it may be the clickbait or the, let me see here, not too many comments today, but maybe the topic, which made them a little nervous when it comes to the algorithm, because I believe this is a great topic to talk about, but I don't think they want us to go viral when it comes to debate, because they want to control the narrative. They want to put out, Kamala challenges Trump, she challenges Trump, and they want the Democrats to just pretty much hear that, but not as a reason why or justification why he should not. Because anybody in their right mind, like I said, especially a black man, ain't no winning arguing with no sister. And like I said, regardless if you say she says she's not black, she's Indian, she's Asian, she's all of these things, but that day she will be black. Because I'm telling you, if I was her team and if Donald Trump accepted the debate, I would literally, sit down with my Congressional Black Caucus member, especially that sister who called Mark Taylor Greene bleach, bad body. Hey, come on in. I need about 2 or 3 of those, and I guarantee you the punchlines will trend and the punchlines will win. Because I don't think they're really trying to convince people. I think they're literally, pushing the entertainment card. Because when I tuned into the debate, and I guess I tuned in at the wrong time or at the right time. I had my computer on, had my surround sound on, and I turned to the debate to look at it on the screen, and all I saw is Megan Thee Stallion up there saying, I'm like, whoa, like, wait a minute. This is wait a minute. I looked, and it says presidential rally, Kamala Harris, and I saw Megan Thee Stallion. And I'm sitting back like, wow. So what are we doing? So we're not pulling the entertainment card, because somebody at the top, or the AI that we're teaching, has basically said they're more, bent on entertainment. Okay, so and then you look at the Trump rally with Kid, all the the antics that went on with Hulk Hogan and Paul, the dude from the UFC, Joe Rogan. I guess they was like, we got to figure it out. We got to pull our people in. Megan Thee Stallion at the presidential campaign, popping her booty. Wow, this is what we doing. So listen, keep tapping in. Okay, hit those notifications, because when we go up, we go up. And then I'm going to start uploading videos pre-recorded, because something's going on. Algorithm when it comes to the lives, they can pretty much, dictate what's going on, and they can hide you. So, and I do understand that it depends on the time of day. It has a lot going on. So like I said, just pray for me. We're going to continue doing this work, because like I said, this is not me looking at. You're looking at a man that has decided to, give his life, full life, to the Almighty. And I'm literally sacrificing things to do what's right. Because like I said, I can pretty much go disappear, go in Shady Acres, go, blow me one, drink my brew, just look at TV and laugh at the jigs on a daily basis. But, what good is that going to do? I just put something on my heart to do something that's different. So in 2024, the descendants of the transatlantic slave have an opportunity to not only end democracy, but to create a new movement, which is theocracy, because democracy is ruled by the devil. Just all you got to do is look at the root word, demo, demon, diablo, or devil, demonio in Espanol, Latino will tell you that. Okay, so if you understand root words, it matters a lot. So if you look at theocrat, with the flip side to democrat, if demo means devil, theo means God. Crat means ruled by or to be ruled. Crat, to rule or rule by. So Democrat, theocrat, ruled by devil, ruled by God. So this is what we got to do as a people, and this is what God is calling us to do. So listen, I love y'all. I hate you guys that commented. Hit those likes and subscribe, and we're going to be tapping in. And like I said, I'm going to start putting my caps up. I'm going to start rolling out the plan. Okay, I'm going to be rolling out the plan. There's a method to the madness. Believe me, this is just the start of a bigger operation. Because if you look at, what's going on and the trends, there's a lot more of us than it is them. But somehow the media promotes the ignorance. The media promotes, all of the things negative. Because when I saw Megan Thee Stallion popping, I basically went on social media, went on my Instagram account, and the comments on Shade Room was so like, why? Was so like, I'm most definitely not voting for her. This is wrong. We're better than this. And I'm sitting back, and I was looking for a comment to support, and it was not one positive comment on the Shade Room about Megan Thee Stallion happen at a presidential rally. Wow. So it's a lot more of us. And then there's men, the silent majority. See, men, they're not going to go on record. I have a lot of brothers I talk to, and a lot of them motivate, but they don't want to go on record, because, of the history, because of the jobs that they have, the career that they're in. They don't want to be on record saying something that can actually affect the outcome of their lifestyle or mess with it. But when you're free and independent and liberated and are a true believer, man, you got to be willing to risk it all for the greater good. So when you talk about a living our best lives, if we figure out a way to remove ourselves from this two-tier government, from this two system, we will be living our best lives. And when I say this, I'm not saying do not participate. I'm going to vote up and down that ballot. To the president of the United States, the black vote has to pretty much show the Republicans and the Democrats that you have not earned and you're not going to receive our vote. So if we pretty much rally behind this third party, if we rally behind our third party candidate and somehow get third party candidate on election day to be there, okay, you got Republican, Democrat, whoever wins, and then you got right up under that, it's going to get more vote than any third party coalition. If that thing and when that thing say Jesus Christ, they're going to sit back and say, wow, who are those people? And we're going to be like, that's us. So at their inauguration, a Republican or a Democrat, they know that we are a strong voting bloc, a nation within a nation, a sovereign group of people known as the remnant would have an opportunity to break bread with either party who's ever in office. I mean, come on, man. This is an amazing opportunity. This is an amazing play that has been orchestrated by some amazing people. So I'm saying, let's pray about it. Let's talk about it. Let's continue to have these conversations and really make this thing happen. And if you really want to know, because these are the questions that are asked. Okay, because what if he win? If he does win, then whoever comes in second by default, because he's a figurative figure. So it would mean we the people will run the country, meaning there will be a lame duck president, and the people will come up with laws and legislation that we support, put that bill in front of the sitting president's hands, who will be physically holding the position, and they're going to be basically signing and handing out pens. So it's what we call the win-win. We can't lose, because I don't want to sit back and rally behind Harris and be mad. I don't want to rally behind Trump. They lose and they be mad. Whoever wins, then we know who we're going to go and talk to. Because if you did not know, in 1992, and I could be corrected, Ross Perot got 19% as a third-party option. Okay, he was an independent, and they did not know in the primaries in North and South Carolina, a presidential candidate, a protest vote, his name was D's Nuts, got 9%. Hillary lost to Trump by 4%. And he was a write-in candidate, D's Nuts. So I'm just saying, if D's Nuts 10%, we could write in our Lord and Savior and at least get double digits. And we say we get double digits, we will be the coalition that basically let the world know that there's some God-fearing individuals in the United States that do not support the system that has pretty much aligned themselves as the mediator between the two tribes, the bridge that will close the gap between the two parties, and the judge in the political courtroom, meaning we will always have a say, because they're going to have to say, okay, well, the theocrats are supporting who in 2028, because we're going to have to do some things. And when I say some things, we seek in the constitutional amendment. We want the 13th Amendment, take the criminalization clause off. We don't want to beat Trump. We don't want to Harris. We want to beat crime. We don't want to beat Trump. We don't want to beat Harris. We want to beat poverty. We don't want to beat Trump. We don't want to beat Harris. We want to beat this public school education debacle that's pretty much is a pipeline and prison program for black and brown kids in the inner city. So these are things that we got to do, and this is the assignment, and this is what we own. So keep tuned. You know, I'm going to be getting you documentation and websites and places to go to donate, places to go to get the information, and go to get the content, because we're going to be pulling this thing together. So listen, like I said, I appreciate y'all. Keep praying for me always. I love y'all. And this your man, Bushawn Glover. I'm about to get up out of here. You guys have a beautiful Wednesday, last day of July, because August is the month that documented the transatlantic slave, August 20th. And it's crazy that August 19th is going to be the Democratic National Convention. And I want to see if this so-called black presidential candidate is going to mention Jamestown, Virginia, August 20th, the year 1619. And that's the first documentation of the transatlantic slave, meaning the first blacks here in this nation. And that 400-year biblical prophecy has expired and will be expiring on the 20th. So get ready. You know, we're going to have a good time. This is what we call the win-win. So to hell with democracy. Okay, because God has given us theocracy. With that being said, y'all have a great day. This is your man Bushawn. Peace out.